Welcome to Operation Management class. As we know that we cannot make everything all by ourselves. We need a partners. So in this video and the series after this, we will learn about the important topic related with the supply chain management.
In this video, let's discuss about the basic definition of the supply chain and also the type of partnership in the supply chain. What is supply chain? The supply chain management is the integration of activities. So there are so many activities that being done by the many companies that procure the material and services, transform them into intermediate good and final product, and deliver them through a distribution system. So in the supply chain, the main activities are procurement of the material, in this case coming from supplier to manufacturer, and then the manufacturer, in this case, so supplier at one side, procure the material, and then manufacturer that transform them into a final product, manufacturer at this side, and deliver them through a distribution system. So this is the role of distributor, or this is the role of retailer. So this is the basic activities in supply chain management. Supply chain activities consist of many activities that in here. For example, the transportation vendor. We should select in which mode of transportation that we will use to deliver our product, either to the customer or from the supplier to the manufacturer. The second is how we pay, either by credit or cash in this case, cash transfer. The third one is selection of the supplier. This is also important. And whether we will use the long-term, the few supplier, or many supplier. Distributor, that we will distribute the product from manufacturer to the retailer or directly to the customer, is also have to be selected carefully. And then how we can manage the account payable and receivable, because we cannot pay directly in cash. And then the role of warehousing and inventory to buffer, to keep our product, either this is the intermediate or final product, before it delivered to the customer. And then order fulfillment, how we can fulfill the order, how we can catch the order, and how we can deliver it to the distributor, to the retailer, or to the final customer. And then sharing the customer. If one manufacturer couldn't fulfill the product, then it might be possible to deliver it, to the same customer from a different manufacturer, or and also it supported the forecasting and production information. Sharing customers is also mean that we share the information of the customer in order to help us to forecast and produce. The outsourcing is the choice between the internal production and external sources. So this is famous with the terminology of make or buy decision. Make internally or buy externally. This activity is transfer the traditional internal activity and resources of the company to outside vendor. This, when we try to do the buying, this utilize the efficiency that come with specialization of our own. And the company can outsource the IT, accounting, legal, logistic, and production that is not core competitiveness of that company. So if the core competitiveness, we shouldn't buy or outsource to the other parties. The supply chain strategy, there are several way, yeah, in conducting. There are several types of supply chain strategies. Number one is we use many supplier. We procure from many supplier to fulfill our need, to fulfill the company needs. This has advantage and disadvantage. Yeah, the advantage is we have a low risk in supplying the material, but we have to struggle in managing so many suppliers to supply in our company. And then the second type is we make a long-term partnership with a few suppliers. So this is opposite with the strategy number one, where the strategy number one is try to negotiate with many suppliers. Strategy number two is partnering with a few suppliers to fulfill our need in the long term. The third one is what we call it the vertical integration. And then number four is we call joint venture. And then there is a type of collaboration or strategy that we call it Killer2. And then lastly, virtual companies that use supplier uh, as needed in this case. So let's see and discuss about this type of strategy. So if we put it in this continuum, then the supply chain partnership is like this. Vertical integration is at the one side, and the market transaction is at the other side. So this is tend to be many supplier, and this is to be the few supplier. Many supplier is commonly used for commodity product that is common, product that can be produced, by many manufacturer. And purchasing is typically based on price. So we just simply select which price that is the lowest among the suppliers. And supplier in this case is competing with one another. Supplier is also responsible for the technology, expertise, forecast, cost, quality, and delivery to the manufacturer. Oppositely, the few supplier approach, few supplier strategy, buyer in this case, this is the manufacturer, form a longer relationship with the few supplier. And this type of relationship create the value through economic of scale and also support the learning curve of each of them, whether to the supplier or to the manufacturer. Supplier in this case, we can ask the supplier to participate in our just-in-time program, which is they are willing to deliver our product exactly at the time and the amount that we need it, and contribute to the design and also technological support. In this approach, the cost of changing supplier is huge because we need to have the learning curve again, and we cannot achieve the economic of scale when we frequently change the supplier. The vertical integration is a type of partnership as if they are actually one company. For example, this is several example of the vertical integration that the automobiles is collaborating, is having the partnership until the raw material, the iron ore, at the upstream, at the downstream, they are working together, or they have their own dealer. For example, a dealer for Toyota, especially for Toyota, Mazda, and so on. For the farming, for the flour milling, for example, they have upstream vertical integration with the farmer, farming. and also they have vertical integration in the downstream with the bakery shop. In vertical integration, they're developing the ability to produce good or service that previously purchased. Integration, in this case, could be forward toward the customer or backward toward the supplier, or we can say this is going upstream or downstream. Upstreaming in this case, or going to the customer is downstream. The vertical integration can improve cost, quality, and inventory, but this may require the capital and managerial skill and also demand forecast. That is a better demand forecast. And the vertical integration is also risky in industry with disruptive or rapid technological changes because they tend to be difficult to accommodate that changes so quickly. The joint venture is kind like vertical integration when we still have, in this cooperation, we still have the diluting a brand or conceding competitive advantage. The formal contribution can make in the form of enhancing the skill and securing the supply and also reducing the costs. The Killer2 network is kind like a middle ground between the few supplier and vertical integration. So this is kind in between and combine the benefit of both the few supplier and also vertical integration. Supplier has become part of the company coalition, and often the company provides support for the supplier through ownership or through loans. And the member expect the long-term relationship and provide the technical expertise and stable delivery. And this type of network may extend through several levels of the supply chain. The virtual company. In this type of strategy, the company rely on variety of supplier relationship to provide service on demand. So this is tend to approach the many supplier. Fluid organization boundaries that allows the creation of unique enterprise to meet the changing market demands. And with this virtual company, they have the better lean performance, low capital investment and flexibility and also speed because they can create the unique enterprise easily to create the unique enterprise to meet the changing demand in the future. So thank you so much for discussing with me about the partnership in the supply chain. See you again in the next video.
Thank you so much for joining me in Learning Operation Management. See you again in the next video.